Another game without a win for Manchester United. Drawing 0-0 at Aston Villa, drawing 3-0 with Porto, no win in the last 3 games, and it's the international break. Where do the football club go from here? I said it last week, it was judgment week for Erik Ten Hag, and he's got a draw at Porto and a draw at Aston Villa. And I feel like it leaves the club in a position of what do we do? Because 2 defeats this week, and he was sacked today at 9 a.m. But now the club are thinking, do we stick or do we twist? We've got Brentford next. We've got West Ham after. We've got Leicester. We've got Chelsea. We've got Fenerbahce in the Europa League. Could it be a time where Man United turn it around and Ten Hag turns it around? The answer is I truly don't know. But is it the right time to get a new manager in? The truth is probably yes. Do I want that? And do I still want Ten Hag to stay at the club? I'm here like I don't know. Like that is the truth. I don't know what's right for the club right now in terms of is there the right replacement, which I'm going to come to next, or if we keep Ten Hag and see how he can do in this run. Because look, Manchester United are not scoring goals. The defensive shape is poor. He started Evans and Maguire, who look more solid than Dalit Martinez, but we still come away from the game with a draw, and then we conceded goals at Porto when we were 2-0 up. Now, let me tell you something. Like this video, subscribe if you're new. 2-0 up away at Porto. I blame the players. I blame the players for that. I went on Ten Hag. I definitely blame the players for that because 2-0 up, you're in cruise control, and you allow them to come back in the game. Now, Ten Hag is not on that pitch. He is not on that pitch. He gave them a plan. He told them what to do. They executed it in the first 20 minutes, and then it just went out the drain. And I'm not going to say because Porto were good, because let's be real. I've grown up watching Porto when Porto were a proper Champions League team winning the Portuguese league. This Porto is not that strong. It's simple as that. It's not that strong. That's Ten Hag now saying to me, be careful. Don't worry, Ten Hag. I'm saying what I think. But the truth is that the Manchester United players blew it against Porto, and I'm not putting that on Ten Hag. What I will put on Ten Hag is the tactical substitution of Marcus Rashford, who was playing excellent against FC Twente the week before, excellent against FC Porto and being the main outlet, and he subbed him off for a guy in Garnacho who's overrated. Now, Ineos are going to be having big conversations right now as I make this video, and we are going to know by the time of Wednesday or Thursday if this guy is staying in the job. Because if you are making a change, you need to make a change ASAP. So a new manager, whether it's Ruud van Nistelrooy or Thomas Tuchel, has a time to get into this team and put the foundations in there, even with other players on the international break. Now, look, where do I stand? If Man United sack Ten Hag tomorrow, he deserves to be sacked in terms of he hasn't done enough to justify why Ineos have kept him in the job. You know, we've got 7 points from the start of the season. It's our worst start ever. We're not scoring goals. Defensively, we look open. I've cut him a bit of slack saying, look, you know, it's still early in the season. Hopefully things can change. We can go on a run. And this is where I'm torn right now because the run of games of Brentford, Fenerbahce, Leicester, West Ham, you look at it on paper and you think we can win them 4. And then if we win them 4, can we then sustain it? But Manchester United haven't been able to sustain a run. And this is where I'm worried because I think Manchester United should be able to put a run together of 3 or 4 games where we win games. But we don't. We win, we lose, then we draw. But then we look at the alternatives, and this is the truth. Thomas Tuchel would probably be the number 1 candidate. And if I'm honest, the only realistic candidate out there, because Julian Nagelsmann's obviously with Germany at the moment. It'd probably be him and Thomas Tuchel, but we've got to put Nagelsmann to the side right now. Thomas Tuchel, a proper coach. He's a winner. He has his ways that can go great when it's going great, but also when it's poor, it reminds me of Jose Mourinho. It goes really poor. Now, do I think, hand on heart, that Tuchel can get more out of this Manchester United team than what Erik Ten Hag's getting? Of course I do. If I come on here on this video and say that I don't, I am lying. It's just whether I think Tuchel is the right fix. I think Tuchel's a good coach, but he's very hot and cold. He's very Marmite. He might be at a club for 2-3 years, and then it's going to end sourly, and then he's going to move on. Are Manchester United fans wanting to have a coach that's going to come in and be more immediate and try and win straight away, but then it's not sustainable and then it just goes back to being what it was? Or do we bide our time, give Erik Ten Hag his time? If it doesn't work, we get Ruud van Nistelrooy, then we look at a long-term option. This is all the things that Ineos have to decide. And this is why it isn't an easy move, people. I know people are saying, look where we are in the league. Look at our form. But it's like, you don't know what might happen with Tuchel and how long he'll be here. They spoke to him in the summer. He didn't take the job. They didn't come to an agreement. But then all of a sudden, 3 months later, you then want to say, yeah, Tuchel, now you're the man. We made a mistake. These are all the things you've got to look at. Ineos back Ten Hag. Do they want to throw in the towel after 7 games? Do you then want to go for Tuchel? And yeah, it could work really well, or it couldn't, and then you're back to square one. But then again, you guys in the comments, let me know. Am I being too naive and saying, why am I not saying go for Tuchel when he's available? Been at Bayern Munich, yeah, it didn't work out, but we saw what he can do at Chelsea, at Dortmund. PSG is PSG. But this is a manager for me that has the mentality to manage Manchester United. And I think that is what would be the USP, which is a unique selling point for Tuchel coming to the football club. Now, you've seen him, and if you haven't, they played Manchester United when he was at Bayern, and he done an interview. He sat down at BT Sport, and he said about rotating players. They asked him, "Are you going to rotate and rest?" Because they were already through in the group stages. He said no. He said all players that grow up to play football as a professional would love to play at Old Trafford. These are the nights they dream of, under the lights, Champions League anthems. They want to come here and perform on the biggest stage. He said, I'm not going to rotate because I know what it means to these players. And I also know what it means to me as a coach coming here as a Champions League manager. And I was like, wow, do you know what? He's not just saying we've qualified. He wants to come here, play his best players and make a statement at Old Trafford. And they won the game, evidently. They did go on to win the game. But it just goes to show to me, like, he knows what it is to be at Manchester United. He knows what it takes to bring other players here and manage against Manchester United. He's managed in the Premier League. And he's got that mentality where I think, you know what, whether it was now or in a few years, I've always felt that Thomas Tuchel was the type of manager that would end up at Man United. Now, if he is to end up at Man United, I'll be honest, I don't think there's a better opportunity than now. When the form we're in, the way the manager is performing, the players are, the slump in confidence. Tuchel will have that aura, which people always talk about aura, that would probably come in and get everyone on board, performances straight away, and winning football matches. And ultimately, Manchester United need to win football matches. And this is where I'm stuck because look, I'm making a case of why I think Tuchel would be a great appointment in terms of the mentality side of things. But then obviously long term, I'm thinking, okay, 2-3 years, how it will end. But I can't think about the 2-3 years because look at the 2-3 years we're going through now. One good season with Ten Hag, one poor season, and this season has started off poorly. But the run of games we have, does he deserve that one more chance to say, right, this is what you need to do between now and the November international break? If it doesn't work, if it doesn't improve, we pull the plug. Now, if you had this to my head, that's what I'd be doing. I'm sorry, Manchester United fans that are watching this. I would give Ten Hag this run of games to turn things around. And if it doesn't work, I'm going to hold my hands up and say enough is enough. But I think right now, Ineos don't even want to pull the plug. Not just yet. So Jim Ratcliffe has apparently come out behind closed doors and said, yes, enough is enough. I don't think Barada, Dan Ashworth, and everyone else believe so. And that is why I think they will come to the decision that they're going to keep Erik Ten Hag in the job. But he has to respond now. There's no excuses against Brentford at home. There's no excuses against West Ham away, Fenerbahce away, and Leicester at home. The 4 games that I believe if Thomas Tuchel was at the club, we probably win. So I want Erik Ten Hag to go out and win them. But the players also need to step up because we're not clinical in front of goal. Xerxes been poor, and I'm a fan of Xerxes. He's not stepping up. Garnacho's been a bit off it. Ahmad's been in and out the side. Rashford has been the best performer so far, but he hasn't had the GA to his name, and he keeps getting subbed. Bruno has been poor. So as well as the manager being poor, these players have also been poor, and it's a combination. Now, the combination has to come together, or I want to manage a managerial change. Because at the end of the day, everything comes down to the manager, and I'm not going to be deluded to that. But I would give him this run of games. There's no more places to hide now. You've got 2 draws away at Porto and Villa. Porto, I think we should have won that game, especially the position we were in. But he's gone to an Aston Villa team that have only lost once to Arsenal. And let's all be real, they should have beaten Arsenal. And we've kept a clean sheet. We kept Ollie Watkins quiet with Johnny Evans absolutely pocketing him. Morgan Rogers didn't really do too much in the final third, even though he got into good transitions. Didn't have the final ball. We defended solid. We went more pragmatic. And if we've got to do that to be showing more shape and organization to then win games, then go and do it, Ten Hag. Because you done it in your first season when we lost to Brighton and we lost our second game as well to Brentford. You changed it. We went on a good run. We beat all the top 6 teams at home. We won the Carabao Cup. We got top 4. If you want to change things and adapt, that's what top level coaches do. And that's what Ange has not been doing at Spurs, which is why they lost against Brighton on the weekend. Show adaptability. Show that you can get results. Man United need to start winning games. And if you need to do it by not being pretty, then do that. Because your job's on the line. And once your job goes at Manchester United, you're never getting a job at a team like Manchester United again. And that's just the truth, unfortunately. Because they will look at it and say, yeah, maybe you're a Dortmund type of manager. You're a Leipzig type of manager. Or you'll maybe go back to Ajax. If you want to be at the top level, you need to turn it around and turn it around now. So I'm going to come on here and say, I don't think Ineos sack him. I think Ten Hag should get these 4 to 5 games until the November international break, and we must win now. We must win now. I can't hide. Ten Hag can't hide. The players can't hide. And Ineos can't hide. Because what it will then show, if Ineos then decide to keep him, if he continues to play like this, is that they don't really want the best for the club. They're just scared to bite the bullet on their own decision. And that's not what you should do. You do the best for the club, not for what you believe. Right now, I'm doing a bit of both because I also believe that if he got sacked tomorrow, cool, it's what happens. Tuchel comes in. If they give him the 4-5 run of games, I say you have to win now. No more excuses. I'm not coming here, talking about draws or this and that. We've got to put a run together because we're not going to get a favourable run this season other than now. We can go to West Ham and win. We can go to Brentford at home and win. We can go to Fenerbahce and beat Mourinho on his old stomping ground. Leicester, that should be 3 points. That's a no-brainer. Or the EFL Cup, whatever it is, we should be winning that. So I'm going to give Ten Hag between now and this November international break. If it doesn't work, pull the plug. But if he does get sacked, it is what it is. But I am not Ten Hag out. I'm still not Ten Hag out. We've got 2 draws, Porto, Villa. And we didn't lose both. We showed a bit of resilience. And it shows that the players are still digging in there and digging deep. So now this run will tell me everything. Guys, make sure you like and subscribe to Never a Foul. Make sure you do check out all the content, all the live content as well. And we'll be back with more videos.